Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Incantation, a Netflix original. The movie was really strange, and I have a few things to say about it. I don't even know if I'm qualified to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. Um, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it without any spoilers, just know that it is a kind of a disturbing movie. It's not like really disturbing, it just has some kind of graphic scenery and some disturbing imagery throughout it, and it can be a little bit jarring. And there's a big trypophobia trigger. If you know what that is and you have it, it's going to bother the shit out of you in this movie. If you don't know what it is, you probably don't have it, so you don't have to really worry about it. But anyway, my spoiler free review is a 6.75 out of 10. It's probably worth a watch if you like scary or unsettling movies or found footage movies. If you don't like any of those, this movie has nothing to offer you, and you should not watch it because it will not add anything to your life. But if you do like those, it's kind of okay. It's okay. It was a decent, unsettling movie, which questions don't get answered until the final moments of the movie. So you're left wondering for quite a while until it all just sums up right at the end and they kind of explain to you. Um, but we're going to get moving forward into the spoilers. So if you don't want to hear those, go ahead and click off now. Go watch it, come back, and see if I said anything remotely coherent. So, movie is a documentary movie. It's like a mother daughter custody battle, sort of. I mean, it's a mom struggling to get custody of her kid in, I can assume, China. I don't know exactly, but they all speak Mandarin, and the entire movie is in Mandarin, so you have to read subtitles the whole time. But there is English dub. However, the lips won't line up, and that's a big no-no for me. So I watched it in the Mandarin version with subtitles. I don't know if there's any discrepancy like there was in Squid Games, um, in terms of the dialogue being different between the English version and the subtitle version. Um, but from what I gathered, there is a cult slash religion that worships this uh, sort of malicious god named Mother Buddha who puts a curse on you and will cause you misfortune. And but the more people that join this curse, the more diluted it gets, and the less misfortune it will bring everyone who's involved. And to sum up the movie, it's all about getting you involved in this cult. They start out with you doing this chant, or they want you to do this chant, yada yada, recite it in your head, whatever you got to do. Say it, and then they show you a bunch of images, and the movie, as it goes, kind of explains what that is. And in the final moments, she tells you that the thing that you've been chanting this whole time is not a blessing in their culture. It's actually a curse, which means that you're essentially saying when you chant that curse is that you would like to join in the curse and help unburden those bothered by it. So they get these people involved, and there's a lot of weird things they do. There's a tunnel of that you must not enter is the name of it, or something like that. Our main characters are Dodo, which is and Ronan. Ronan is our main lady, Lee Ronan, and Dodo, who is her daughter, who seems to be affected by a lot of this. And then there's a few side characters. But essentially, she gets involved in this cult, and which her I think her fiance or boyfriend brought her to, which is part of his family thing, but he's never really participated, so this is like a first for him, but it's part of his family culture, I guess, that they do this, and they've all been doing this. So they need to do a huge ritual and everything, and they come to join them. And they initially don't want to let them in, and then they do, and the kids start causing a lot of problems and video cameraing stuff that they probably shouldn't, or that, well, they should be, but it's creepy stuff. They write all sorts of ancient Buddhist characters all over your body, and They chopped this one girl's ear off because they believed her to be blessed. Um, but essentially, inside this depraved, nasty little tunnel that in which they do a weird ritual and set this girl in front of while she's unconscious. Um, is inside this tunnel. They obviously go to explore because they're kids and they're part of like a ghost busting YouTube channel, which is kind of topical. Um, and they want to go uncover secrets and scary hidden things and see if the rumors are true. And so they go down there, and there's a bunch of mirrors and a bunch of like, I'm assuming, gifts for Mother Buddha, and it's kind of creepy. Obviously, they take a while, and then they find at the end of the tunnel through a bunch of this weird rope that they use, a bunch of this weird like put your name on a sash kind of thing. It's like a sash-looking paper, and they have a bunch of those tied in a certain symbol blocking the entryway to this tunnel. Obviously, they cut it and they go down there, and there's just a statue of Mother Buddha with the face covered and a bunch of weird stuff. The one guy looks underneath the face and then just starts slamming his head into the fucking concrete. And that's kind of how a lot of people die in this, is just slamming their head into things repeatedly. The guy that is the foster care runner. He was taking care of Dodo for a long time while her mom was in or was seen unfit to take care of her child. So he was taking care of her in the foster care system and feels kind of like a dad. He doesn't believe Lee Ronan, our main character, that this crazy curse that the more you know, the worse your life gets, which is a theme. They even say that in the movie. The more you know about this curse, the more misfortune you will suffer. But essentially, our guy goes on a. He doesn't believe her, and but he decides to reunite the kid because the kid wants to stay with her mom. And then he takes the tape that has all of this evidence that they went and collected when they went down the scary tunnel and saw this creepy shit, and watching the tape can cause you great misfortune because you see everything pretty much. And anyway, he watches this tape and has to get it, fixed because the video is damaged. And it takes a while, but as he's finding out more and more, he's getting more and more sick with nosebleeds and all sorts of like illnesses. And eventually, he sends a video saying that he was sorry he didn't believe her, but it makes sense now, and that he hopes that she can keep Dodo safe, and that he always felt like a father to her, and that he's very proud that she would call him dad like she does in the beginning. Um, and then he just starts fucking slamming his head into the desk on camera because he gets the final blow of misfortune, I guess, and starts freaking out. Which, yeah, just a lot of people just start slamming their head into the things. So that'll be a reoccurring theme. There's a bunch of creepy things, like some really corny CGI arms at the end of a hallway, and that come out of the walls during the scary video. Um, I don't know what to say about those. They're okay. I didn't understand enough about this movie, so really anything could have happened, and I would have been like, oh, okay, it's just part of the fucking curse, I guess. Um, but I don't think it should be like that, but that's kind of how it felt, which is, I don't know, I didn't get really connected, and I'm not the biggest fan of found footage films, but they're okay. I don't know, it was just strange. There's a good portion towards the end of the movie when they're at the religious cult area, and they're exploring it, and she's freaking out because they just got out of the scary tunnel, and this is back in time before she's had her kid. So, like I said, if you're confused with me explaining it, that's how confusing the movie is, kind of. Um, it's not a great movie, but it's just okay. But the vibe really gave me Resident Evil Village vibes. Um, they are in like a little homestead village looking thing, and while they're walking around with the camera, a lot of the set pieces really do look like they're just straight out of Resident Evil Village, the video game. Looks like a real life version of those weird like stands and all the things you see around the village. So if you like that game and have played it, you'll notice some similarities later on, and the fact that they worship Mother Buddha is similar to, Mother Miranda in that game as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it felt kind of like that movie at certain points. Um, it's all over the place in terms of emotions. Sometimes it's like a sad, heartfelt. Sometimes it feels like it's paranormal activity. And sometimes it feels like fucking Resident Evil Village. So it's really all over the place. It cuts between the video of her trying to take care of her kid and there's a bunch of lesions all over her and her trying to struggle to be a mom and all sorts of stuff and this other video from before that you're slowly getting shown throughout the film of what happened in the tunnel and what happened at this weird little village that got them cursed in the first place. And essentially the entire movie is just a ploy. How they wrap it up, their little twist and turn is that it's that recite you every time you recited that chant that they told you to recite, or every time you said it in your head, whatever, you were joining this cult. So you've joined it now and you're lightening the burden on everyone. And she's doing that because her daughter's affected by this curse. So if you, the viewer, and everybody else gets this curse, then the misfortune will be diluted and less bad things will happen to her daughter. um, so that's kind of how they wrap it up, is she reveals that that was the Grand Master plan the whole time, from showing you all of this and you sitting there for like an hour and 45 minutes. Um, and it's really just okay. She says all of that and then goes into the scary tunnel, and she goes up to the statue and looks at the face, and apparently the face, which is told in the movie that the face is like the root of the curse, it's the root of all bad things um, that happen to people. She looks into it just like the other guy did, and well, she immediately starts bashing her fucking head into the cement. So, and then it just finishes off with a bunch of characters, and you think the movie's over like 3 or 4 times and before it's actually over. Like you're convinced it's done, you're like, okay, I don't know how to feel about that, and then there's more and you just still don't know how to feel about it. So it's it's okay. I'd give it a 6.75 out of 10. Like I said in the beginning, if you like found footage films, or if you like unsettling scary things, or you just like those kinds of movies, I'd say it's worth a watch at least once. Add it to the repertoire of things you can say you've seen. It's a Netflix original, so if you have Netflix, it doesn't cost you anything extra to watch it. So I'd say if you have the free time and you like those, watch it. If not, avoid it. You're not missing anything. It was really subpar. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know in the comments down below if this review made any sense at all to you, or if you've seen it already and if this review is spot on, or your own thoughts on the show. Whatever you would like to put down there, feel free to slap it down there. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you for watching.